Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. In the constant war against crime, law enforcement agencies move quickly and efficiently against the enemies of society. And often the Highway Patrol moves just as quickly and just as efficiently to prevent a crime. On the morning of June 17th, Jack Dunning and Peter Barker, hardened criminals who had a long record of arrests, came to Cedarville to visit an old cellmate, Martin Haggard. The purpose of their visit? Murder.
I'll get it. Yes?
Is Marty here?
Oh, yes, but he's sleeping.
You must be Joan.
Well, I am, but who are you?
Well, I'm Peter Barker, and this is Jack Dunning.
Yeah, we're old friends of Marty's.
Oh, well, won't you come in?
Pete! Marty!
Hey, Jack!
Marty!
What are you two characters doing here, Cedar?
Oh, we're just passing through. Thought we'd look up an old friend and cellmate.
Oh, it's all right. Joan knows all about me. Sit down, sit down.
We're trying to forget that. Martin and I are building for tomorrow.
Building for tomorrow. Say, that sounds real pretty.
I don't know about pretty, but it's hard work. Hey, this is my first day off in 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That's worse than being in jail.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, I sort of like the overtime. You know, the extra pay. It sort of fills out the paycheck at the end of the week. Hey, how about you two characters staying to lunch, huh? It's all right, isn't it, honey?
Oh, of course it's all right. Please stay.
Oh, we'd love to, ma'am, but... Well, you see, I got this throat condition, and... Well, the fact is, I'm on a special diet. I can't eat everything.
I know all about special diets.
You do?
Oh, yes. Ever since Martin's had diabetes, I've had to be careful of what I feed him and how and when.
Say, that's right. That hit you last time you was in.
Yeah.
Now, what can't you eat?
Well, I'm supposed to have calf's liver. Ground calf's liver.
Well, that's no problem. I'll run down to the store and get some. Now, you just wait here. I'll only be a few minutes.
Say, can I go, ma'am?
No, you and Peter visit with Martin.
You two guys aren't just passing through Cedarville. You came here to see me, right?
Well, fact is, Bixby's getting kind of worried about you.
Why?
Well, Bixby's a pretty big man. Now this investigating committee is beginning to nose around his activities, and you're the only one he isn't sure of because you're not with us anymore.
Look, I've got no reason to talk. I didn't before. Why should I do it now?
But what if they get you on the witness stand and start asking you questions?
Oh, I say I don't remember. I've been on a witness stand before.
I think Bixby himself would like to hear you say that. It'd put his mind at ease.
Well, where is he?
He's waiting in a motel on the edge of town. We'll take you to him.
Yeah. He can take you to him right now.
Can't we wait until Joan gets back?
Oh, no, we'd better not. I'm afraid we won't be able to stay for lunch.
Yeah, but the calf's liver, you said...
Just an excuse to get her out of the way so we could talk to you. Oh, you'd better leave her a note so she doesn't start fixing lunch.
Yeah.
Don't tell her you're going with us. Just say that we had to leave and you've gone to visit a neighbor's house. I don't want her to know anything about Bixby.
How long will it take?
Just long enough for you to convince Bixby that you won't talk.
I'll just get my insulin kit.
Oh, you won't need that.
I always take it with me.
We'll just be gone a few minutes, Marty. Come on.
Come on, Marty.
Marty? Hello, Hazel. This is Joan. Is Marty there? No, it's all right. Thanks. Roberta, this is Joan. Is Marty there? If you see him, will you tell him to come right home? Thanks. Operator, get me the Highway Patrol.
Matthews. Who? All right, put her on.
My husband's Martin Haggard. He's a diabetic, and he's gone off without his insulin kit, and I'm worried.
How long has he been gone?
Oh, about 15 minutes. And he's due for his next shot in 3 hours.
Well, I'd give him a chance if I were you.
But you don't understand. 2 of his old cronies were here, a Jack Dunning and a Peter Barker. Martin was in prison with them.
What's your address?
720 Willow Road.
We'll look into it right away.
Yes, sir.
I want to run down on Martin Haggard, Jack Dunning, and Peter Barker. You can reach me at the Haggard house, 720 Willow Road. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol.
Come in.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming, even though I do seem hysterical.
You don't at all. Now, just take it easy and start from the beginning.
Well, Martin works at the aircraft plant, and today was his first day off in 2 weeks. He was taking a nap, and I was catching up on my sewing when in walked Jack Dunning and Peter Barker. I'd never seen them before. Well, I didn't think anything of it, because Martin greeted them like old friends, and they were going to stay to lunch, and so I ran down to the store, and when I came back, they were gone, and I found this note.
Don't you believe what it says?
I've called all our friends in the area. None of them has seen Martin. Hello?
Mr. Matthews, please.
It's for you.
Thanks. Matthews.
Martin Haggard, Jack Dunning, and Peter Barker. All ex-convicts connected with the Bixby Combine. Their records include armed robbery, assault, and extortion. They are now being sought for questioning by a special committee investigating Bixby.
I'd hold it. What kind of a car did Dunning and Barker have?
A black four-door sedan.
Alert all units. 3 suspects in a black 4-door sedan.
Yes, sir.
You know a guy by the name of Bixby?
No, who is he?
He's a racketeer on a national scale. He's being pushed out in the open. Your husband used to belong to his syndicate. He might still.
My husband hasn't had a dishonest thought since we met almost a year ago. He's become a decent, hard-working citizen.
I hope you're right.
Well, I know I'm right. You've got to find him before anything happens to him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, don't just shake your head. If Martin doesn't get his insulin shot on time, he'll go into shock. Diabetic coma, do you understand?
You said you were taking me to see Bixby at a motel.
Well, he doesn't want to see you, Marty. Just wants to make sure you don't talk.
They'll never get away with killing me.
Who's trying to? Oh, you're gonna die, sure, but we won't kill you, Marty. Come on, buddy.
Around front of the car now.
We don't want anything to happen to you, Marty. No bullets, no wounds, no nothing. We just want to lock you up in this shack until tomorrow or maybe the next day.
But I've got to have my insulin.
We figured you'd rather have it this way, Marty, and leave your wife out of it completely.
Isn't there any way I can convince you or Bixby that I won't talk?
Can you think of any better way than this?
But they'll know it's murder.
No, they won't. Look, we'll come back in about 36 hours and open that door. We'll leave it wide open. When they find you, they'll think that you just wandered away from home. There'll be no signs of any crime, just a diabetic who went into shock. So long, Marty. You wouldn't want to be caught with that gun after our recent visit to our old buddy. Better dump it down the road a piece.
Jack Dunning and Peter Barker, vicious criminals and members of the Buxby Combine, had hit upon a unique method of silencing an ex-member of the gang who had gone straight. Without his insulin, Haggard would die. There would be no traces of violence when Dunning and Barker returned and opened the door to the shack.
Both of you with your hands up. Out of the car. All right, they stand over there. Come on, around here. Turn around, put your hands on the roof of the car. You two, get in there.
But, officer, what's this all about, officer? We haven't done anything.
That's right. We were just passing through. What's your name?
Peter Barker.
Yours?
Jack Dunning.
Where's your other friend?
What other friend? Oh, officer, now listen.
Are we under arrest, officer?
$22.85, $21.50.
$21.50 by.
I just picked up Barker and Dunning traveling east on Highway 84 near the junction at Old Mill Road. Martin Haggard is not with them.
What kind of a car were they driving?
Black sedan, As per description. I'll have the lab pick it up and check it for all tests.
Right, 10-4.
10-4.
I want you to come to headquarters. Identify Barker and Dunning.
Well, what about Martin?
We'll find him. Get his insulin.
They're inside, Mr. Matthews.
You wait here.
You must be the #1 man around here.
I'm Dan Matthews.
Well, Mr. Matthews, would you tell their boys they're making a mistake? We haven't done anything. We were just riding through. Well, what is it we're supposed to have done? Mrs. Haggard, hello. Sorry we couldn't stay for lunch.
What have you done to my husband?
Well, we haven't done anything to your husband. Is that what we're in for? You think we've done something to Martin?
Oh, we wouldn't think of doing anything to Marty. He's our friend, our buddy. He was sort of sore when we couldn't stick around for lunch, but, well, he always was a big, good-natured, generous guy, you know?
I really do have to have ground calves liver, Mrs. Haggard, but we just couldn't stay. Wasn't Marty home when you came back from the store?
Please, you've got to make them tell you what they've done to Martin. He's got to have his shot in an hour and a half. He's got to.
It's not going to work, Barker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me put it this way. If Haggard dies because he didn't get his insulin shot, and you're responsible for putting him someplace where he couldn't get it, you're going to be tried for first-degree murder, both of you.
Didn't you leave out just one more if, Mr. Matthews? If you can tie us up to this whole thing? Just don't believe me, do you?
No, I don't. Matthews. I'll be right in. What have you got?
See for yourself. The lab report on the stuff found under the fenders of the car. It's a special kind of gravel found in 4 areas within a 30-mile radius.
Here. Well, let's see now. Found the car here. So it could be Paradise Cove, Preston Falls, development at Silman, or Carter's Quarry.
Could be any one of those spots. But which one?
That's a good question. We got less than an hour to find out. You can save us a lot of trouble if you tell us where Haggard is.
You still don't believe me?
Look, we know you dumped him at one of 4 places. Paradise Cove, Preston Falls, Silman, or Carter's Quarry. Which one and where do we find Haggard?
I knew I'd tell you. I wouldn't want anything to happen to my old buddy.
We have a rough idea where your husband is.
They've told you?
You better come with me. Have units go to Preston Falls, Paradise Cove, Silman, and Carter's Quarry. Have them search for Haggard. If you hear anything, contact me.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Headquarters to 2173.
Well, why are we stopping here?
We're in the center of the 4 points where your husband might be hidden. No need of driving around. We'll wait till everybody checks in.
How long?
Headquarters to 2150.
2150 by.
Units checking Paradise Cove and Preston Falls report negative.
What about the Silman development in the quarry?
Waiting for report.
10-4.
10-4. Headquarters to 2150.
2150 by.
Unit checking Silman Housing Development reports negative.
That leaves the quarry. Who's at the quarry?
Officer Dennis.
Moving to join him. 10-4?
10-4.
Haggard! Haggard! I've been yelling for him, but I get no answer. Are you sure he's here?
Well, the other three checked out negative.
Of course he can't answer. He's in shock by now. If we don't find him within the next few minutes, it'll be too late. So let's not stand here.
Check everything out over there?
Yeah?
Or try it in that direction. I'll go around here.
Yes, sir. Haggard! Haggard!
Haggard!
Haggard! Haggard!
Haggard! Haggard!
Stop it, stop it. He can't hear you.
Well, we gotta keep trying.
Dennis! Coming!
You think he's in there, Mr. Matthews?
We're gonna find out. Get me a tire iron or something, will you?
Right.
Martin.
Well, let me have it.
He's in shock, bad shock. We'll have to get him to the hospital.
I'll get an ambulance.
I don't know how much good this shot will do.
I asked headquarters to send out an ambulance. Also to alert the hospital to stand by for a diabetic shock victim.
Good, you stay with her. I'm going back to headquarters.
Right.
Where's that ambulance? The shot didn't do him any good.
It'll be here soon.
They'll never replace food.
You shut up. You're making me hungry.
That makes two of us.
We found him.
Good. Now, do we get out of here?
He's not dead, Barker.
Where'd you find him?
Where you put him?
Did Martin tell you that?
He didn't say.
Must have gone to a diabetic shock. Sure was one swell guy.
Matthews. I put him on. What is it? Thanks. He's alive and talking. We're going to hold you for attempted murder. What kind of animals are you, anyway?
Just human animals, Mr. Matthews. I'd rather face a jail sentence any day than Bixby.
Oh, you're going to see Bixby. He's going to be your cellmate. Book him. Punks. See Highway Patrol next week. Until then, remember, leave your blood at the Red Cross or your community blood bank, not on the highway. This is Broderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. One of the major duties of law enforcement agencies, such as the Highway Patrol, is the prevention of any sort of panic which might jeopardize the safety of public citizens. While making a friendly call last year in May, the head of the Highway Patrol unexpectedly and unknowingly encountered a new type of killer, one just as deadly dangerous as any gun-toting criminal.
Hi, Miss Matthews. Hi.
How's the orange crop going this year?
Oh, say, I'm getting a couple more boxes to a tree since you and your boys cleaned up that gang of grove thieves.
Looks like we're both interested in pest control.
Yeah, with guns.
I know what you mean. Glad everything's going okay. Say hello to Mrs. Norton for me, will you?
Yeah, I sure will. Right now, she's in town buying supplies.
Oh, by the way, how's my pal Tommy?
I haven't seen him since she left this morning. He must be up to something.
Hold it. Raise your hands.
Please, don't shoot. Please don't shoot.
All right. Turn around. Okay, mister. Inside. All right, mister. You can put your hands down now.
Don't tie me up, please.
Well, okay.
What do you got here, Tommy?
A real model police special, 38.
Did you make this yourself?
Sure I did. Come on, I'll show you.
Hey, Tommy, this isn't dry yet.
Well, don't worry about the paint, Mr. Matthews. It'll come right off. Got some cleaning rags here.
What kind of paint is this, Tommy? There's no odor to it.
That's not real paint. Just some kind of whitewash. Better not. I just finished painting those two.
Oh?
Mr. Matthews,
Mm-hmm.
I got a favor to ask you. Someday when you're not in a rush, could you, well, would you teach me how to target practice?
Well, what do you say to today?
Here, use this gun. Then you won't get paint on your hands again.
Well, if we're going to have target practice, we got to have something to shoot at, don't we? Oh, there it is right there.
That doesn't look big enough for me to hit.
It's plenty big enough. Now, first we got to back up. Come on. I'll show you.
Oh, Tommy!
Here I am, Dad, in the shed.
That's okay. Just wanted to tell you I'm going down to the far end of the grove to spray.
All right, Dad.
Now, look, Tommy. You stand just like this. Oh, not quite so far apart. A little closer together.
How's this?
That's much better. Now, the gun should feel like a continuation of your arm, like this. See? Now, your left hand right down on your side, tight.
Why'd you do that?
That's for balance. You don't want it waving around. Now, look, let me show you how to hold it. You cradle the butt right here. Put your thumb exactly where I have mine. That's it. Now put your index finger on the trigger. Just like that. That's it. Now the rest of the butt is held tight with these 3 fingers. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, swell. Now put your left hand down there. Put your arm out. Straighten a little bit more. That's it. Now, you line the 2 sights up right on the center of the target. Now, you got it?
Yeah?
Now, take a deep breath. Let half of it out. Squeeze.
Bullseye.
Okay, Tommy. You practice what I just showed you, huh?
That's your gun, Mr. Matthews. I'm gonna paint it up real special. Then I'll give it to you.
Okay, thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome, Mr. Matthews. You know, I sure would like to have a real gun like yours.
Maybe someday you will. Until then, keep practicing with that one. But remember one thing. Guns are dangerous. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Guns are dangerous. A constant caution of police officers everywhere. But Dan Matthews' warning to Tommy Norton had particular significance. Little did he suspect that Tommy's seemingly harmless toy guns were in every sense of the word as dangerous as any real gun. Deadly weapons, whose bullets were soon to present a threat to both their lives.
Hi, you're a little late.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. Hey, you don't look very good.
I don't feel very good.
What's the matter?
I wish I knew. Where's the doc?
He's in the lab. You want me to go with you?
No, he's right here. I just think it's an old-fashioned stomachache.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Doc.
What's the matter?
Nothing serious, I hope.
Here, go sit down.
Okay.
Open your mouth. Stick this under your tongue. Stomachache?
Oh, I got a dandy.
Pain just in the stomach?
No, it starts there.
Keep your mouth closed. When did it start?
Oh, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Eaten anything unusual?
No.
Threat of a public panic demanded an early diagnosis of Dan Matthews' illness. It was imperative not only to determine the necessary medical aid, but to prevent what in their minds could be disaster. Unknown to the Highway Patrol, as they moved rapidly in their efforts to avert a widespread panic, the illness had claimed another victim. The condition of a small boy, seriously ill and without help, grew steadily worse.
Hello? Mother? No, ma'am. The operator must have given you the wrong number.
Anything to show yet, Carson?
I called the Board of Health, Doctor. No other cases of food poisoning reported so far. It doesn't help us locate the source of contamination.
No. Trouble is, people living in rural areas seldom call a doctor until the last moment.
But are you sure that Dan has food poisoning?
Well, symptoms of his are common to a lot of things. None of them good.
Is he feeling any better?
A little. As soon as you finish these tests, let me have the results. I'll be with Matthews.
Yes, sir.
I want to keep a close check on him for the next few hours. With those symptoms, there's always the possibility of a wrong diagnosis.
Well, let's see now. I had lunch right here. I think I had the daily special. Breakfast I had here. I had pancakes, or it might have been number 3 or number 4 on the menu. I don't know.
How about dinner?
Let's see. Dinner I ate. Oh, this. Give me George Libbett's.
What is it?
I didn't eat dinner. I had a sandwich at the ballpark, at Libbett's ballpark. Charity game, Little League.
Big crowd?
It's jammed. Hello, George. It's Dan Matthews, Highway Patrol. Who ran the food concession at the ballpark last night? What's his name again? Nick McKay. Does he have his own place? What's the name of it? Mick's Grill. Where is he? 3 miles south on 112, right. No, there's nothing wrong at all. I just want some information. Right, thanks very much. I'll take this with myself. Dispatch units. I want food and water samples. Check for contamination.
Look, I'll handle this. You need a rest.
I'm not the only one involved, Doc.
It's my responsibility.
Doc, there were a lot of kids there. Now, if they get the same thing I had, their families are going to panic. We'll have a catastrophe.
Okay, you win, but I'm going with you because I got some pills.
All right, bring your pills. Come on, let's get moving.
Good afternoon.
How are you? I'm Matthews, Highway Patrol. This is Dr. Holmes right here. You run the food concession at the ballpark, don't you?
What about it?
Well, I ate there. Just had my stomach pumped. Could be food poisoning.
I don't serve bad food.
I don't say you do. We just want to check it, that's all.
Check all you want.
I want samples of everything you served.
Okay. I think I've got leftovers of everything.
Water. Give me some water. Here, Dan. Here. Take those.
While Dan Matthews and Dr. Holmes worked feverishly, little Tommy struggled, alone, frightened, and sick, unable to reach his father working at the far end of the grove, a father unaware of his son's desperate plight.
Pain gone, Dan?
Almost.
Try some more water.
That pill works pretty fast.
It's only temporary.
Mick's Restaurant.
Dr. Holmes, please.
You Holmes?
Yes.
It's for you.
Thank you. Yes?
Carson speaking, Doctor. I just finished the stomach analysis. Negative.
Not food poisoning. Well, how about other poisons?
No trace so far.
I'm bringing Matthews back right away. You get those samples ready. I'll send another patrol car to pick them up.
Well, it's not food poisoning. What do you need the samples for?
What do you need samples for, Doc?
Because your symptoms are indicative of a lot of things that can be caused by food.
Give me a name for it. Would you give me a name for it?
I don't know, Dan. Maybe some of our other tests will tell us what it is, but they won't be finished for 24 hours.
You know, other people can get hit by this. Lots of people.
Then we'll have that catastrophe you're afraid of. Full-scale panic.
Let me tell you one thing, Doc. Panic can hit and move faster than any disease.
The dread panic had found a victim. As Dan Matthews and the doctor sought to avert a general panic, an immediate tragedy was in progress. Little Tommy Norton, gravely ill and without medical aid, was unable to understand the strong and gripping pains that racked his body.
You know, that pill left a funny taste in my mouth.
Couldn't have been the pill, Dan. The pill has no taste.
I ought to know. I swallowed it.
I know, too.
Well, something tasted funny.
What sort of a taste?
I don't know. It's like... Well, you know, it's like new faucets in your house.
Tastes and smells are peculiar to each individual. Can't you pin it down, Dan?
Well, let me see. It's kind of metallic, like... Well, like lead.
I'm going to check the water.
What's the matter now, Doc?
Give me a glass of water. Have you had any plumbing done around here recently?
Plumbing?
No taste.
What's this all about?
Is this the same tap water you gave Mr. Matthews?
Yeah.
Metal. Thanks. Dr. Holmes to headquarters. Dr. Holmes to headquarters.
Headquarters, why?
Get a hold of my lab assistant. Tell him to run a quick lead determinator test on Matthews. We're coming in. 10-4. 10-4?
10-4.
Parson.
You find anything?
Oh, nothing yet.
Dan, you've got lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning?
7.0 milligrams percent. Toxic dose. Give me a dose of calcium salts and an IV hypodermic of calcium.
Oh, come on, Doc. You're going to tell me that salts and shots are going to fix me up all right?
Well, not quite. The calcium draws the lead out of the bloodstream. It takes about 2 weeks. It's called the Golden State treatment.
Well, here we go again. So I know that if I got it, other people have got it, too.
If we don't find those other people, could it be fatal?
If they don't get the proper medical attention, it could.
Where'd you get it?
Hey, Doc. Where could I get it?
By absorption. To the lungs, the skin, the stomach. Judging from the violence of your attack, I'd say you had a large contact, and recently.
You've been fooling around with car batteries lately. They contain lead.
No, I haven't.
Have you been handling anything that's painted with lead paint?
No.
Haven't been chewing on any lead pencils.
Come on now, my teething days are over.
Well, have you been doing any painting or been around anybody that has?
No. I was out to the Norton place. Little Tommy was fooling around with whitewash.
Oh, that's a water base.
Yeah, I know. Right now we're back at the beginning. We're back at the ballpark.
The capacity crowd.
Get me George Libet right away.
Take off your coat, Dan.
All right, here, give me a hand.
Yep.
What do you mean it's busy? This is an emergency. Tell them it's Matthews, Highway Patrol. Cut in. Hello, George. That fence around the ballpark, when's the last time you painted it? Oh, what are you, square needles or something, Doc? What, about 6 months ago? Well, why the wet paint signs on it? Oh, well, I see. Okay, thanks very much. Got the wet paint signs to stop the kids from crawling over.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah, but there's only one thing wrong. We're starting all over again.
Well, not quite. At least we know what we're looking for.
Yeah, but where, Doc? Where?
Been to a manufacturing plant. A factory.
Gardening?
No. I was at the Norton's place, and he was spraying his orange grove. I handled that can about an hour ago.
Some commercial insecticides contain arsenic of lead.
They do? Get me Charlie Norton's place right away. don't answer.
But they're not home.
Maybe they can't answer. Let me have my hat. Come on, Doc, let's go.
Receiving the proper medical attention, Dan Matthews was now out of danger. But would Tommy's desperate situation be discovered in time? If the toxic infection progressed unchecked, it could be a matter of only minutes before the deadly effects of lead poisoning would bring about a final collapse.
All right, you take the house. I'll take the garage and the shed.
Right.
You take it over that way, huh?
There's nobody in the house.
Hit that screamer. No, he's got to be in this grove someplace. Check those paint cans over there, will you? Down. What'd you find?
Nothing yet.
Gotta be around here someplace.
What's the matter?
Dan has lead poisoning.
What happened to that can of insecticide you were using?
What's the far end of the grove? What's that got to do with it?
Some commercial insecticides contain arsenic of lead, don't they?
Not this. I checked it when I bought it.
How about dry arsenate of lead? Is any of that around?
I haven't had any dry arsenate for 6 months. I remember the last can I bought because I ruined the top when I opened it.
See, whitewash powder and dry arsenate of lead. They look alike, don't they?
Yeah.
Let me see. Tommy painted his gun with whitewash. Wait a minute. What happened to that can of arsenate of lead, the one you said that you ruined the top on?
Well, I figured the dry powder would fly in the air too easy, so I...
Come on.
Well, I dumped it in the big can, and I mixed it with water, and I put it up on one of the shelves inside the shed.
Let's take a look.
I thought it'd be safe up there. It's gone.
Tommy's been exposed more than I have. We gotta find him right away. Let's start looking. Come on, spread out. You take it this way.
Tommy! Tommy! Son!
Tommy! 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 Hey, Doc! Coming down! Hey, Tommy. Tommy, wake up. Come on now, wake up. Tommy, come on, wake up. Wake up, boy.
Hi, Mr. Matthews.
Oh, Tommy, this is Dr. Holmes. He's going to fix you up okay.
Hi, Tommy. I made Mr. Matthews feel better, too.
Were you sick, too?
Yeah, I have the same thing you do.
I want to get him back to the lab. Oh, don't worry. We got it in time. Everything's going to be all right.
I want Mr. Matthews to carry me.
Well, I don't
All right,
think...
Doc, don't make a public panic out of it.
Okay, I'll go back to the car and prepare a hypodermic. I'll tell Norton we found his boy.
Okay.
A hypodermic? That means I'm gonna get a shot.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but yeah,
I don't like them.
I don't like him either. But look, Tommy, you and I are going to take pills and shots for the next couple of weeks.
Well, if you say so.
I say so.
Oh, we almost forgot.
What?
Here's your present.
Oh, thanks. You know, this is what made us both sick. Guns can be awful dangerous. Come on. See Highway Patrol again next week. Until then, remember, reckless driving doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. This is Roderick Crawford saying, see you next week.
Whenever the laws of any state are broken, the duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Highway Patrol maintains a constant vigilance to protect the lives of the citizens of the state, even to the point of special protection for certain individuals. On November 9th, the newspapers carried the story that Jack McCall, a retired gangster turned gentleman farmer, was to testify before the grand jury on November 14th. It was the Highway Patrol's job to see that McCall arrived safely.
McCall,
Yeah?
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
Sure. Why not? I can't stop you.
I'm Dan Matthews, Highway Patrol. You read this?
Makes nice headlines. Personally, I don't read the paper.
I'd advise you to read this. You're due to appear in 5 days.
That's what it says?
That's what it says. They've asked us to keep an eye on you, too.
Look, Mr. Matthews, I'm not going to appear for any grand jury.
All right, have it your way.
I won't go unless they send for me, and when I get there, I haven't got a thing to say.
They can put you in jail for contempt if you don't talk.
Nah. They can't hurt me. I'm retired. I'm completely legal. All I ask is to be left alone.
Can't leave you alone. You know too many things.
I've forgotten.
How about your friends? How do they know you won't talk?
They know me. They know I don't talk.
You know enough to worry a lot of guys into not being able to take a chance that you won't talk.
I can take care of myself. I always have, always will.
Now, look, McCall, you'd make it a lot easier for me if you'd move into town and check into a hotel.
I like it here.
My job is to look after you no matter what you think.
I still like it here.
Okay, you're making it rough on me. I'm going to need more men.
If you want to go to all that trouble, you go right ahead. But I'm not leaving this ranch. You're wasting your time. Who'd want to kill me?
Houston, for one.
I haven't got anything to say, Matthews. You do your job, I'll take care of myself my own way.
Robert Wilson Houston. Businessman, legitimate businessman. Used to work for you. You taught him everything he knows.
Houston tends to his business, I tend to mine.
You know what his business is?
Suppose I do.
Well, if you were in his shoes, wouldn't you knock a guy like you up pretty quick?
I'm not in his shoes.
Okay, McCall, I'll handle the whole thing right here. Won't be easy, but that's the way it's going to have to be.
I can't stop you from guarding me.
I'm going to put a man on this ranch 24 hours a day and one guarding the entrance from the highway.
Sounds like quite an operation.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to keep a man alive. You'll have somebody with you all the time.
Do what you want.
$21.50 to station.
Go ahead, 2150.
Give me a 1020 on car 2169.
No more east of Three Corners.
Tell him to get to the McCall Ranch cutoff right away. How long do you think it'll take that car to reach the highway?
4 or 5 minutes, I'd say.
At 2169, pick up a late model blue sedan that'll be at the McCall Ranch turnoff on the highway in about 4 minutes. Bring it to the ranch. Use caution. Somebody in it's armed.
10-4.
So you can take care of yourself, huh? What do you think now?
Still doesn't prove anything.
Could have gone right in your chest.
Lucky I moved.
Lucky you didn't get killed, you mean?
Like being a cop?
That's a good job.
Why do you worry about me? Most cops would be only too happy to see me get knocked off.
As far as I'm concerned, you're just Joe Citizen who needs protection. You get it like anybody else. What happens to you matters to me.
Just a job.
That's right. All right, McCall. You stay where you are. You can't be sure this guy didn't have a friend in the hills.
Claims he was hunting.
Looks like it could be the same 405. You're sure dressed for hunting. What were you hunting?
Deer.
Out of season?
So what? Didn't hit it.
Have you got a license?
Yeah.
Ed Kramer. You always use a 405 with a telescopic sight when you hunt deer out of season?
Look, that's my story. If I hit something around here, tell me about it.
No, you didn't hit anything. McCall, did you ever see this hunter before?
No.
All right, take him in and book him.
What charge?
discharging firearms in an inhabited area.
Wasting my time and yours. You can't make the charge stick.
Okay. Think nobody's trying to kill you?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
I think I'll move in with you. That is, unless you say no. I'll feel a lot better if I can handle this personally.
It's all right with me. Might be a few laughs.
Laughs?
Yeah. Well, the time you cops gave me a hard time. Now you can make up for it and give me a few laughs. Mind if I see that?
No, here. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, you know, this is a steel jacket slug, not the kind they used to hunt game with.
Still doesn't prove anything.
You look awful nervous.
I'd be a fool not to be.
Kramer wasn't able to do the job. No, they picked him up. We'll try something else, but it's going to be a little tougher now that they're watching the place. Right. Right.
Would you mind waiting just a minute?
What's wrong?
We have to clear all vehicles for the McCall Ranch.
This load of hay's from McCall from Simpson Feed and Grain.
2169 to 2150. 2169 to 2150.
Thanks. 2150.
Have a load of hay here from Simpson Grain and Feed for the McCall Ranch.
2150, just a minute. McCall.
Yeah?
You expecting a load of hay?
Uh-huh. Simpson Grain and Feed.
2150. Send it in. 10-4.
Okay. Go ahead. They'll check out at the ranch.
Thank you.
McCall.
Yeah?
This the one?
Yeah, I've been coming here for over 5 years.
A lot of excitement.
We don't like excitement. We like things very quiet. Let me see your identification.
Yes, sir. Usual stuff. McCall knows me.
Jimmy Wilson, you know him?
Regular driver.
Okay.
Get her unloaded, Jimmy.
Okay, Mr. McCall.
Sorry you had all this trouble.
No trouble.
You always here when Jimmy brings in the hay?
Sure, I check it in. I really run this ranch, all of it.
He don't trust me. Figures I'll hijack a bale of his hay.
Look, Matthews, whether you're here or not, I still got work to do. I gotta help this boy unload.
Okay. Call in, have to get an ambulance out here right away.
Right. 3256.
Three hand grenades concealed inside the alfalfa had been triggered by the pull on the baling wire. Jimmy Wilson had been rushed to the hospital, a critical. McCall had received a minor cut on the forehead. This was the second attempt on McCall's life, and there were still 3 days before his grand jury appearance.
McCall.
Yeah?
We're trying to find out who put the hand grenades in the truck. You still think nobody's trying to kill you?
You do your job, Copper, and I'll take care of myself no matter who's trying to do what.
I don't understand you, McCall. Somebody's trying to kill you. You know it and I know it, and you won't do anything to save your neck. Look, why don't you let me take you in town?
No, every man does what he has to do for his own reasons.
Tell me who the guys are that are gunning for you. I'll pick them up.
Sure. And instead of one guy after me, I might end up with a dozen.
I think I could think of a dozen right now. Jimmy Wilson's in the hospital. He's hurt bad. I hope nobody else gets hurt because you won't help.
We'll try again, but time's running short. We better start thinking of calling someone like Blaney in. Right. It'll be tomorrow.
Here.
All right, wise guy, what is it?
About. That's all right, it's all right. My men disarmed it.
What'd you bring it here for?
Thought maybe you'd go back into town.
You're doing a good job. I feel safe here. Sit down, relax.
2 more days and I'll relax.
You know, from your end, this is a real nothing. I'm still not going to talk to that grand jury.
That's no skin off of my nose, but you might do the state a favor.
What for?
For keeping you alive, that's what for.
State got me into this mess.
That's where you're wrong. Got yourself into it a long time ago.
That's a souvenir of a long time ago.
Don't you know that gambling devices are against the law?
That's no gambling device. Go ahead, pull the handle. Nothing inside to make it work.
Say, whatever happened to that kid who used to run your slot machines for you? The one who thought he was big enough to take over and tried to gun you.
Oh, Roberts. Pete Roberts. He's been out a couple of months.
Highway Patrol headquarters. It's Matthews. Put a tail on Pete Roberts. He's been out of the pen about 2 months. What? Occupation. He never had one he could mention.
Just how many guys would you put a tail on to take the heat off me?
Oh, many as I have to. Who's trying to knock you off?
You know as much about it as I do.
Yeah, I deal with cards.
Your card playing's as bad as your personality. Still, it is kind of nice to have somebody around the house to play pinochle with.
It's kind of nice to have somebody around the house you can trust, too, isn't it?
You know, in the old days when I was running the mob, I could have used a guy like you.
You couldn't have used me. We're different.
We're the same. The organization's different. You could have been a big man by now.
Like Houston?
Maybe. He must be big. You haven't pulled him in.
You talk to the grand jury, I'll get him in fast enough. Right now, we're after the muscle, not honest Robert Wilson Houston.
All this is doing you no good. Day after tomorrow, I stand in front of that grand jury. I don't remember anything, and the heat's off me.
My job is to turn you over to the grand jury. What you do when you get there is your own choice. What about Max Jersey?
Two-bit heist man.
Don't say it so nasty. You were a two-bit heist man yourself.
I haven't seen Max in years.
You know, he might be the kind of a boy that'd hire playmates to put the finger on you.
Hasn't got brains enough.
He had brains enough to get back at you once with a knife. Highway Patrol headquarters. This is Matthews. Max Jersey's in the state. We got a bulletin on him from Canada. Never goes out without a gun. He can't get a permit. Shake him down. Right.
You're sure giving me the royal treatment. Seems like I ought to do something to help. Jerry Redmond. I once took 100 grand off him in a crab game.
How'd you get out of his joint with that kind of money?
I was with friends.
Oh. Highway Patrol headquarters. This is Matthews. See if Jerry Redmond's up at Lake Thunderbird at that seafood place of his. He had a stick up there a couple of weeks ago. Tell him I got some suspects I want him to look over, will you? Call me back on it. Right. What are you laughing at?
You pulling in Jerry Redmond. That hands me a laugh. I never did like that guy.
What about the 100 grand?
Oh, it never happened. But the thought of that slob sweating when you pull him in, that's good for plenty of laughs. Come on. Want to get a little fresh air. No use objecting. You remember I told you I was going to move around like I pleased?
Okay.
$10,000 now, Blaney, and $10,000 when you finish the job.
Big money. Houston must want him bad.
Big money for a tough job. McCall's joint is sealed tight by the law. We don't care how, but we want him stretched out.
Well, let me show you the plan. They got a patrol car blocking the road to the ranch. Now, the car's parked here, with a cop at the wheel and another one standing here. Now, I'll send in a grocery truck. I'll be in the back. As it pulls up to the patrol car, I'll jump out the back and have the drop on both of them. At the same time that happens, another car will come up. I'll go on up to the ranch while one of the boys holds the patrolman.
How about your getaway?
Cinch got it all worked out.
Okay, if it'll work.
It'll work. But tell me, why not get him on the way to the grand jury?
Too risky. We won't know what car he's in or when he goes. And if we miss, we'll never get another chance.
We won't miss.
I hate to wake you up, but I think you better keep moving around out here. You know about guns and how hard it is to hit a moving target, don't you?
Hey, you're pretty good.
Thanks. Tonight. Tomorrow and tomorrow night. That doesn't leave him much chance to take pot shots at you, does it?
You're more nervous than I am.
McCall, you're right. Because if they kill you, I failed. I've messed up everything.
That's important to you.
Yes, very important.
Does what I can tell or not tell mean so much?
Look, McCall, we know a lot about crime in this state. We know about the bottom of the pyramid and how it works. We know about the rest of it, too, about the narcotics and the gambling. And the money moves on up to the bigger people. From there to the biggest, and they invest it in legitimate business. Then we're stuck. We know who the top men are. We can only get to them to the bottom.
Sounds like a mighty smart business operation.
It is. And you organize the entire state.
That's what they say.
Now, look, we can't whip it. We can't whip it without the help of a fellow like yourself, who knows the operation from top to bottom, where the money goes, how it's invested, who gets what.
I sound important.
Yeah, you are. And my only worry is to get you where you can tell the people about it. Once I deliver you, it's their worry how they get it out of you. I'm going to go check with Jennings.
Don't make a move and nobody will get hurt. Put your hands up and don't try anything funny.
How's everything, all right?
Quiet.
But you better call Franklin.
3256 to 2169. 3256 to 2169. Come in.
Call headquarters right away. Tell them to send 2 cars to the McCall Ranch turnoff. Maybe Franklin's in trouble. We'll go ahead as planned.
Hold them here. This won't take us long.
give me the keys.
What's up?
You've handled a gun before. You ought to know what's up.
The car on the way out to the ranch.
All right, fine. I'll take McCall with me. It might be a false alarm. We can't take any chances.
Right.
Jennings, you stay here, man.
It's already been mapped out. Come on. All right, drop it.
You mean we're going in alone?
Well, I've got an escort. We'll pick him up at the highway. I'd feel awful embarrassed if I had to tell the grand jury you got killed on the way in.
Yeah, especially after what you went through to deliver me.
Well, like I've been telling you for the past 5 days, it's a job.
Do you mind if I say something?
No, go right ahead.
I think you will want to know this. When I go in, I'm going to talk. Lay it on the line.
Why the change of heart?
Oh, I don't know whether it's out of gratitude for what you've done or respect for what you've done.
Well, respect, that's a pretty nice word. After you talk to the grand jury, maybe you'll have more self-respect. You know, I got to admit it. I'm very happy that you're going to talk.
Why?
I want to be proud that I kept you alive, that's all. Get in. The Highway Patrol story next week is a very unusual one. We hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, the clowns at the circus, they're real funny. But on the highway, they're murder. This is Roderick Crawford saying see you next week.
State are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. constant problem faced by the Highway Patrol is in the enforcement of law in the more desolate rural regions, where the occasional communities are not large enough to require the services of full-time peace officers. It was in such a section on the morning of the 18th of August that the Highway Patrol encountered one of its most cold-blooded cases of murder.
Hello, Baldwin. How are you? How you doing, Al? Now, is that any way to welcome old friends? We haven't seen you since you got out. Oh, say, by the way, Al, this is my wife, Dell. Honey, this here is Al Baldwin.
Glad to meet you, Al.
What do you want? What do you mean, what do we want? We was just passing through and thought we'd stop and say hello to our old cellmate, that's all. Quit wasting time and tell them what we're here for.
Look, I don't want any trouble, Tom. I've worked up a legitimate business since I got out of prison. I don't want any trouble.
We don't want any trouble either. The way we got it figured, there won't be any.
Okay. Okay, just so long as we understand each other. What's the deal?
Any place where we can talk?
I'm the station. No one can see you from the road.
Okay. Frank, you stay with the car. Come on, Dale. Kathy in the house?
How'd you know my wife's name?
We sort of kept tabs on you, Al. After all, us ex-cons got to stick together, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Do you mind telling me what you're planning?
We've got a cinch job here, Al. I used to work for the farm combine. I know all about how they send a guard through here to make bank deposits for your local farmers and merchants. Now, a year ago, the average semi-weekly pickup from 64 farmers and merchants ran better than $12,000. It's probably higher now.
Sure, but why does it have to be pulled here?
Sid Wells, the guard, hasn't changed his routine in years. The way we got it planned, he's not going to have a chance to fight back. So nobody gets hurt.
Well, what about me? What happens when the Highway Patrol starts coming around and asking questions?
Wells never got here.
Yeah, but what'll he say when I'm telling him that?
We can talk about that later, Tom. The main thing, Al, is Wells due here today around noon for a pickup?
No. He won't be by until tomorrow.
Why not? This used to be the day they had scheduled for a pickup.
They just changed it. If you come back tomorrow morning...
We're here. Why should we travel 50 miles back to the city when you can put us up for the night?
Well, I've got a small house. There's not much room.
Let's go inside and meet the missus. Hey, Frank! Over at the house.
Honey, this is Del Wright.
How do you do? Hello, Mrs. Baldwin.
And her husband, Tom. And Frank Jennings.
How do you do?
How are you, Mrs. Baldwin? We're old friends of Al.
Tom and Frank and I were in state prison together.
Oh?
They're going to spend the night. I told them it'd be a little crowded.
Well, we'll do the best we can. All right.
That's a nice place you got here, Al. Where can Frank and I walk up?
Right in there through the arch. One, eight.
Don't worry about it, Frank.
Can't help but worry.
Say, look, Al. You better tell your wife what we got in mind, just in case we need her. You know, she's got to have the right answers when the patrol comes around and starts asking questions.
Yeah, sure. It's a customer. I'll take care of him.
Wait, you lying rat. What was all that tomorrow stuff about? That's the combine guard out there now.
He was supposed to come by tomorrow.
Frank, you follow me out in case I need you. Come on. Del, come out here. Kathy, you come out here, too.
Al, what?
All right, stay right where you are. Del, you stay here with Kathy. And see that she stays here.
Sure.
All right, now let's get out there. You introduce me as your new helper. Understand?
Morning, Al.
Morning, Sid. This is my new helper.
Oh, glad to know you.
Hi, Sid.
Well, what do you got for me, Al?
It's inside. I'll get it for you. Well, that's it! All right, stay where you are. Frank?
There's trouble out there.
Get out.
All right, let's go.
You think you can take care of both of them, Dale?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Inside, you two.
Go on.
All right, let's have those keys.
You're gonna ride inside. Get in.
Okay, let's go. Right.
Out. All right, Frank.
Gee, mister, you got the money here. You don't need to kill me.
Who said anything about killing you? Hurry up, Frank. All right, Wells, now get back inside. That ought to do it. Lock it up. Better drive it up the hill a little way so it won't be so easy to spot from the highway.
That ought to do it.
Let's go.
Okay.
Now, that was dumb. You didn't set the handbrake.
We better get that truck out of sight.
Now, wait a minute. Here comes a car. We'd better get out of sight.
Come on.
Well, it looks like it coasted down this hill. Go on up there, see if you see any other tire tracks. .3016 at 2150. Are you on the air?
2150 by. What do you got?
Found a body in a panel truck. Plumber in Valley Circle. Been shot.
I'm not too far behind you. I'll meet you there. 10-4?
10-4.
150 to headquarters.
What are you doing?
It's safer in here.
What happened?
The highway patrol spotted the truck.
Oh, we gotta get out of here.
Use your head. We leave here now, we'll run smack into their roadblocks. We gotta stay put.
Well, yes, but they'll be coming here.
So what? As long as the Baldwins don't talk, we're okay. The patrol can't prove anything against us. Now look, smart boy. Now until we're able to get out of here, you and me are gonna stick together like glue, understand? I'm your new helper. You hired me yesterday and I'm here all alone, get it? One word out of you and she gets killed, savvy? Yeah. Okay. Now show me around outside. I want to look and act like a real grease monkey by the time the patrol gets here. Come on.
What'd you find in the hills? Any tire tracks or anything?
No, not a thing.
Looks like they took him up there, then killed him. The brakes slipped in the truck, and he came back on the highway.
Coroner's on his way down. He'll be able to give us an idea how long Sid's been dead.
We haven't got time for the coroner. No tire tracks. That means no car. Unless they took to the hills, they got to be in this area someplace. Wait a minute. Maybe they figured on a roadblock, and they are holding up around here. Let's check on the guard. Do you know where he stops in this area?
Well, let me see. North about 2 miles is at Daniel's farm.
All right, check that. What about south?
Al Baldwin's gas station. Say, wait a second.
What?
Baldwin's an ex-con.
What do you know about it?
Well, he's been down here a couple of years. Cooperative. Never misses a report date. He and his wife seem like real nice people. But he did do time for a stick-up.
And there's a lot of ex-cons. That doesn't mean anything. Get on the horn. Have them check the north. Let's go to Baldwin's. Come on.
Wells didn't stop by here. Understand? Just remember your wife's inside with Dell and Frank. Oh, here they come. Now get a grin on your face and act natural.
Hello, Al. Hi, Sarge. Want you to meet Dan Matthews, head of patrol. It's Al Baldwin.
Mr. Matthews?
All right.
This is my new helper, Tom Wright. Officer Walters, Dan Matthews.
How are you?
Matthews? Hi, Sarge. Anything we can do for you, Sarge?
Did Sid Wells stop by here today?
No, I haven't seen him. Why?
Well, there's been a little trouble. The combine truck was held up and the driver killed.
Sid Wells killed?
Yeah, a couple of miles from here. You see or hear anything?
No, nothing at all.
How about you? Did you see anybody walk by in the past hour or so?
No, sir. I've been busy in the back.
How'd you get that bump on your head, Al?
Well, I'm afraid that was my fault. I was lifting the hood. Banged Al right in the forehead. Heck of a way to treat the boss, isn't it?
That sure is. If you hear anything, let us know, will you?
You bet we will, sir.
Thanks very much.
You said that no one was going to get hurt.
Real good, boss. Just keep it up. I'm sure we won't have any trouble getting out of here tomorrow. Come on. I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat.
What about this Baldwin? Does he live alone?
No, he's got a wife, Kathy. She's a real nice girl. She always comes...
She always what?
Wait a minute, I just thought of something. Kathy's always around. Whenever a patrol car stops by, she always comes out with a cold drink. And that new helper. Al doesn't do the kind of a business where he needs a helper. Let's go back there.
How do you figure something's wrong?
I don't know. Ever since Al moved down here, he's been clean as a whistle, but it just doesn't smell right.
I got an idea. I'm going back to Al's place. You join the other patrolmen. If I'm not out of Al's place in 10 minutes, come and get me.
Right.
Take off.
Dan Matthews was taking a calculated risk in returning to the gas station alone. If the murderers of the farm combine guard were there, he was hoping that this action might cause them to reveal themselves.
Want something, Mr. Matthews?
Got a job for you. Blew a tire. The car's just down the road.
Oh, I'll come up with you.
Hey, what about that list of supplies you said you needed, Al? You got to write the order today, don't you? If you want to go take care of it now, I'll go along with Mr. Matthews.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The supplies.
You need any tools, Mr. Matthews?
Everything's in the car.
Well, let's go.
All right, let's go.
He's taking Tom with him.
I don't think so. Not the way they're walking together. Anyway, he wouldn't have come alone for Tom. Oh, Al, what are we gonna do?
It's all right, honey. It's all right. Take it easy.
What's that cop doing with Tom?
He blew a tire. Tom remembered them to change it.
Hey, I gotta hand it to that Tom. He's sure working things out right.
Where are you from, Tom?
Up north, sir.
What are you doing around here?
Al said he could use a helper. I thought maybe there might be a better future for me down here.
Oh. All right, hold it. Put your hands on top of your head. Two shots fired. The lab will tell us whether this is the gun that killed the guard. Who else is in this with you?
Al Baldwin. It's his gun. He did the shooting.
Who else?
Nobody else. Just the two of us.
Where's the money?
I don't know. Al took it.
Where's Al's wife?
I don't know.
Take him away. Looks like your hush paid off.
Shall we go pick up Baldwin?
No. I don't think he's telling us the whole story.
What do you mean?
Maybe Baldwin's in this, maybe he isn't. I don't know. But the way Wright was treading on Al's toes looked like he was afraid to let him out of his sight. Wouldn't let him come up here with me.
You mean like he's keeping Al as a hostage?
Yeah.
Well, if that's true, there's nothing to stop Al from talking now.
Unless other members of the gang are holding his wife. She might be in the house with him right now.
Well, if we go back there without Wright, they'll know there's trouble.
Yeah, we can't take him back there, that's for sure. This might work. You're about the same size and weight as he is.
You mean you want me to change clothes with him?
It's kind of risky. Maybe they're going to notice the difference. We'll have to take the chance.
Suppose I keep my face hidden. You could probably block their vision.
Well, I could try. It's worth the chance. Change clothes. Be sure you get the car keys.
What's keeping him? Was that the truth about that guy taking Tom just to change his tire?
I told you it was.
Take it easy, Dell. He'll be back. Give him time.
Maybe he had a chance to run off without us. That's what I'm thinking.
Without the dough, not Tom. It's still in the back seat of the car. Who is it?
A patrol car.
Tom in it?
I don't know. I can't see.
You get back to the house. Somebody's watching.
Maybe Wright's supposed to signal him or something if everything's okay.
They've seen enough of you. Come on over here.
Okay, Baldwin. Get up and get rid of that cop.
Suppose I can't.
That's your worry. I said get rid of him.
Sergeant, where's Tom?
We got him. He had a gun on him. Come on, Al. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
They've got Kathy inside. They'll kill her if you try anything.
Who's got her?
Tom's wife and his friend Frank Jennings. I knew the guys in the state prison. They came here today and told me what they were going to do. I tried to warn Sid Wells. That's how I got this knot on my head. But for heaven's sake, don't try anything. They killed Wells. They stand nothing to lose by killing my wife.
Relax. Take it easy, will you? Did they see the sergeant? They think it was Tom?
Yeah.
Suppose you went in the house, told him Tom wanted to see him. Think they'd come out?
No. Not both of them. Besides, Frank told me to get rid of you.
There's got to be a way to trick him out of there.
You'll only get Kathy into trouble. No matter what you do, they'll hold on to her. That's why I haven't been able to do anything. Don't you see? You can't touch them.
All right, relax. We're going to make sure nothing happens to your wife. Now, as long as they're holding you in check, you know nothing's going to happen to her.
They might think something's going wrong. They might get panicky. You got to give me a break and get out of here before they think I've double-crossed them.
Double-cross? That might work. Suppose they thought Tom was trying to get away.
Yeah, that might do it. They have the money in the back seat. Tom hid it there.
All right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to get in my car and drive away. When I'm out of sight, I'll park it and then come back. Take me 3 or 4 minutes. Now, Al, I want you to go in the house. You tell him Tom's scared. He's going to make a run for it. Tom, you get in the car. And when you do, have trouble starting it. Now, have you got this straight?
Still there, huh?
Yeah, I don't like this. If everything's going okay, why is that cop still hanging around?
How do I know? Maybe he's just standing there chewing the fat.
Al, I know how you feel. Now, do what you're supposed to do. Don't try and be a hero. We'll get your wife back for you.
Everything's okay.
Yeah. You go and get Tom. Tell him I want to know what's going on.
Tom will come in when he wants to. He don't like nobody to tell him what to do.
Oh, never mind. I'll tell him myself. You just watch her. Hey, Tom, come here.
Listen, something's up. I don't want him to see me talking to you like this. Come inside and I'll tell you.
Go on in. I'll follow you. What did he say to the guy on the phone?
He said that he'd meet him in town. That he's going to clear out alone with the dough.
If he is, I'll get him.
Oh, we both will. Tom. He's just wearing Tom's clothes. He's a cop.
I'll get him.
So you did call the cops in, huh, Baldwin? I ought to kill you now, but I'm not through with you yet. We're all going outside. You and Kathy first. Come on. You cop, you in the car. Get out and drop your gun unless you want both of them to get it. Get around the back of the car. Now, you're going to drive us. We'll be in the back seat, and I'll have this gun on both of you. Now, get in.
Here. I told you not to be a hero. You could have gotten your head blown off.
I couldn't help it. When I saw her shoving that gun at Kathy, I guess I kind of lost my head.
Mrs. Baldwin, you got a good guy here. Hang on to him. Next week's Highway Patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.